Zeus, the king of the gods, once convinced his wife to turn into a fly and then ate her. And this is nothing compared to Sciron asking people to wash his feet and then kicking them off a cliff. Today, we're looking into 10 of the most legendary and infamous characters from Greek mythology, and the witty tales that go along with them, starting with Odysseus, the trickster of Greek mythology. Odysseus is a central character in Homer's epic, the Odyssey. He is renowned for his intellect and versatility, traits that earned him the epithet Odysseus the Cunning. His adventures began with the Trojan War, where he played a pivotal role in the Greek victory. Odysseus is credited with the idea of the Trojan horse, a deceptive stratagem that allowed the Greeks to infiltrate and conquer the city of Troy. After the war, his journey home, known as the Odyssey, lasted 10 years, filled with encounters with mythical creatures and divine entities. Odysseus faced the wrath of Poseidon for blinding his son, the Cyclops Polyphemus, leading to a series of misfortunes. He was held captive by the nymph Calypso, encountered the Sirens, and navigated the treacherous straits between Scylla and Charybdis. He eventually returned to Ithaca, disguised as a beggar, and reclaimed his throne by slaying the suitors fighting over his wife Penelope's hand. Next up, the creature Minotaur, a symbol of terror and confusion. Minotaur combines of the body of a man and the head of a bull. The Minotaur's tale begins with King Minos of Crete, who prayed to Poseidon for a snow-white bull as a sign of divine favor. Upon receiving the bull, Minos was supposed to sacrifice it back to Poseidon. However, he chose to keep it, angering the god. Poseidon, in retaliation, made Minos' wife, Pasiphae, fall in love with the bull. From their union, the Minotaur was born. The creature, named Asterion, soon became uncontrollable and started devouring humans. To contain the Minotaur, King Minos ordered the famed architect Daedalus to construct a complex labyrinth. The labyrinth was so intricate that no one who entered could find their way out. The Minotaur was then placed at its center. For many years, the city of Athens was forced to send 7 boys and 7 girls as tribute to Crete, where they were sacrificed to the Minotaur. This continued until the Athenian hero Theseus volunteered to be one of the tributes. With the help of Minos' daughter Ariadne, Theseus navigated the labyrinth, slew the Minotaur, and escaped, ending the gruesome tradition. Coming up next, Medusa, the woman with hair of living snakes. Medusa is one of the 3 monstrous Gorgons, daughters of the sea gods Phorcys and Ceto. Born beautiful, Medusa was transformed into a monster by Athena as a punishment for desecrating her temple with Poseidon. The transformation rendered Medusa hideous, with venomous snakes for hair and a gaze so terrifying that it turned onlookers into stone. The hero Perseus, son of Zeus, was tasked with killing Medusa as part of his quest, equipped with gifts from the gods, including a mirrored shield from Athena, winged sandals from Hermes, a sword from Hephaestus, and a helm of invisibility from Hades. Perseus beheaded Medusa while she was asleep. The death of Medusa was not the end of her story. From her severed neck sprang Pegasus, a winged horse, and Chrysaor, a giant wielding a golden sword. Medusa's head was used by Perseus to defeat his enemies, and later given to Athena, who placed it on her shield. Next up, Hercules, the strongest of the heroes. Hercules is renowned for his exceptional strength and numerous far-ranging adventures. Born to Zeus, the king of the gods, and Alcmene, a mortal woman, Hercules is a demigod. His birth was marked by Zeus's wife, Hera's jealousy, leading to a life filled with trials and tribulations. Hercules is best known for his 12 labors, a series of tasks he was forced to complete as penance for killing his wife and children during a fit of madness. These labors included slaying the Nemean lion by strangling him, capturing the golden hind of Artemis, and cleaning the Augean stables in a single day. Hercules' strength was legendary, as he held up the heavens for Atlas and even dragged Cerberus, the 3-headed dog guarding the underworld, into the sunlight. Hercules' life was not just about physical feats. He was also a tragic figure. Despite his heroism, he was often at the mercy of the gods' whims and suffered greatly. His death, caused by a poisoned shirt sent by his jealous wife, led to his ascension to Olympus, where he was welcomed as a god. Next up, Cronus, the king of the Titans and the god of time. Cronus was a Titan born to Uranus, the sky, and Gaia, the earth. As the youngest of their offspring, Cronus was tasked with the challenge of overthrowing his father's rule. Gaia, dissatisfied with Uranus for imprisoning their children in Tartarus, the deepest part of the underworld, gave Cronus an adamantine sickle. With this weapon, Cronus castrated his father, ending his reign and establishing the era of the Titans. Cronus married his sister Rhea, and they gave birth to several Olympian gods. Haunted by a prophecy that one of his children would overthrow him, as he did his father, he swallowed each of his offspring at birth. Rhea managed to save their youngest child, Zeus, by tricking Cronus into swallowing a stone wrapped in cloth instead. Meanwhile, Zeus was raised in secret and later fulfilled the prophecy, starting the Titanomachy, a 10-year war between the Titans and the Olympians. The victory of the Olympians marked the end of the Titan era and the beginning of the Olympian era. Post-war, Cronus and the Titans were imprisoned in Tartarus. In some versions of the myth, Cronus was released by Zeus and granted the rulership of the Isles of the Blessed, a paradise for heroes. And now the Prometheus, the bringer of fire. Prometheus is renowned as the Titan who defied the gods by stealing fire and giving it to humanity. Born to the Titan Iapetus and the nymph Clymene, Prometheus was one of the few Titans who sided with Zeus during the Titanomachy. Prometheus's most notable act, the theft of fire, was a pivotal event in Greek mythology. It occurred after the trick at Mycenae, where Prometheus tricked Zeus into choosing the less desirable portion of a sacrificed animal, leaving the meat for humans. Angered, Zeus deprived humanity of fire. In response, Prometheus stole fire from the gods and returned it to humanity, an act that symbolized the dawn of civilization and human progress. For this defiance, Zeus punished Prometheus by chaining him to a rock where an eagle would eat his liver daily, only for it to regrow and be eaten again the next day. Despite his punishment, Prometheus never regretted his actions, embodying the spirit of rebellion and resistance against divine authority. And now, Sciron, the notorious bandit. In the annals of Greek mythology, Sciron stands as a terrorizer of travelers along the Saronic coast. Born to the notorious king Pelops and the sea nymph Poseidon, he was most known for his unique method of robbery, which involved a deadly ruse and a monstrous sea turtle. Sciron would sit on the cliffs of the Saronic Gulf, appearing as a harmless old man. He would ask passing travelers to wash his feet, a seemingly benign request. However, when the unsuspecting victim would kneel to perform the task, Sciron would kick them off the cliff into the sea. There, a monstrous sea turtle, believed to be a pet of Sciron, would devour the fallen traveler. This cruel practice continued until Theseus, the heroic king of Athens, confronted Sciron during his journey to Athens. Theseus, known for his strength and wit, was not fooled by Sciron's ruse. He turned the tables on the bandit, kicking him off the cliff instead. Thus, the reign of terror of Sciron ended. And now, the legend who needs no introduction.
Achilles!
The legendary Greek hero of the Trojan War was the son of the Nereid Thetis and Peleus, the king of the Myrmidons. His life and exploits are central to Homer's Iliad. His mother, attempting to make Achilles immortal, held him by the heel and dipped him in the river Styx. However, his heel remained vulnerable. Achilles was trained by the centaur Chiron, who taught him the arts of war and wisdom. As a warrior, he was unrivaled, his skills amplified by his divine lineage and his armor forged by Hephaestus, the god of blacksmiths. In the Trojan War, he was a key player, his wrath and heroism shaping the course of the conflict. His most notable feat was slaying Hector, the Trojan prince, in a one-on-one duel. However, He met his end when Hector's brother Paris, aided by the god Apollo, shot a poisoned arrow into his vulnerable heel. His death marked a significant turning point in the Trojan War, leading to the eventual fall of Troy. Next up on our list, Zeus, the king of the gods. Zeus was born to the Titans Cronus and Rhea. Fearing a prophecy that his child would overthrow him, Cronus swallowed all his children. However, Rhea managed to save Zeus by substituting a stone wrapped in swaddling clothes for Cronus to consume. Raised in secret on the island of Crete, Zeus grew to maturity and eventually forced Cronus to throw up his siblings, thus fulfilling the prophecy. Zeus then led the revolt against the Titans, banishing them to Tartarus, a deep abyss in the underworld. After the war with the Titans, Zeus shared power with his brothers Poseidon and Hades, ruling the sky, sea, and underworld respectively. Zeus was the supreme deity, controlling the weather, law, order, and fate. Zeus's rule was often challenged. He faced threats from monsters such as Typhon and the giants, but always emerged victorious, reinforcing his supremacy among the gods. Despite his flaws, Zeus was revered as the protector of the home, the state, strangers, and supplicants. Even the Olympic Games, held every 4 years in Olympia, were dedicated to him. And last but not least, Helen of Troy, the most beautiful woman in the world. Helen was the daughter of Zeus and Leda, queen of Sparta, making her a demigoddess. Her beauty was said to be unrivaled, leading to her abduction by Theseus, king of Athens, in her youth. However, her brothers, Castor and Pollux, rescued her. Later, Helen was married to Menelaus, king of Sparta, but her life took a dramatic turn when Paris, prince of Troy, came to Sparta. Paris seduced Helen, leading to her infamous fleeing to the city of Troy. This act sparked the Trojan War, a decade-long conflict involving almost all Greek states. Throughout the war, Helen's loyalties were questioned. Some accounts depict her as a remorseful figure longing for home, while others portray her as a treacherous woman reveling in her new life. The war ended with the fall of Troy. Some versions of the myth suggest that she was reunited with Menelaus, who had initially planned to kill her, but was once again captivated by her beauty. Other accounts, however, tell a darker tale. In these versions, Helen was not welcomed back in Sparta. She was scorned by the people for her perceived role in causing the war, and her relationship with Menelaus remained strained. Helen eventually fled Sparta, seeking refuge in Rhodes, where she was killed by the queen. Let us know which character was your favorite in the comment section below, and what video would you like to see from us next. Until the next time, history but fast.